When does it really matter, or does it? Does it matter what people think about you?
Yes, it does. And it shouldn't. But it totally does.
It does.
It especially does.
That was last week. Studio 5 relationship coach Dr. Matt Townsend revealed it can matter what other people think of us, but that outside opinion is not as important as what we think of ourselves.
So if this idea of self-perception is so important, is it even possible to change it? Is it possible to change that perception?
Yes. Because, think of it, if something really good happens to you, for a while you think you're the bomb.
Yeah, you're right.
If something really bad happens to you, for a while you think you're the bomb. Or you are the bomb.
You bombed.
You bombed it. So one of the things I want you to notice is we're very susceptible to being swayed, right? So I was going to show you, it was a really neat and interesting thing about my compass. A compass should pretty much just automatically operate to north, right?
Yeah.
The problem with the north is that when I bring it in a studio like this with all of these other devices and technology and electronics flying through this room, it messes up our compass. Same thing happens in our lives. All the outside perceptions or perspectives start to mess us up, and we don't know what true north is for us anymore. So we're going to give you some rules to figure out what matters most to you. First thing you've got to do is turn off all the noise. There's a lot of stuff vying for your attention and trying to create an identity for you, I call it, okay? Even your Facebook, for heaven's sakes, your Twitter, turn some of this stuff off. I've had to turn off the election because it's creating too much weirdness in my mind. So I've had to just turn it off. I don't even know are they still running? And but part of it is you got to turn off all the outside noise, all that interference, because then it'll create a quiet space in you to start to identify who you really are.
Let me ask you about this next one, because often we set goals, we try to improve ourselves, and in doing that we focus on what we're not good at or our weaknesses. You say the complete opposite. Focus on what we're good at.
Yeah, what I found is it's a lot easier to have success where you're good. We're always trying to create well-rounded people, and there's a great book out there by Marcus Buckingham that says, First Break All the Rules is the name of the book. They studied 80,000 managers, and they found out that the best managers aren't trying to create well-rounded employees. The best managers identify the strengths of their people, and they focus and let them work on their strengths. And I think if some of us would, instead of trying to be everything to everyone, what if we could just focus on what we are really good at and literally go get really good at that? And then we can leverage our strengths later to do more. But let's go kind of master some things in our life for once and get effective at it, and then we can start adding new things to improve. Instead of being an inch deep, 1,000,000 miles wide, it might be better to be 3 inches wide, 1,000,000 miles deep. Make sense? And by the way, when you start where you have strength, you feel more strong. It's kind of a weird
concept. That would change that perception of yourself.
Right.
You feel better, back to the old, I think I'm the bomb.
And that's like what I noticed in like my career. The way my career goes is that I get to do a lot of what I like to do. And when you do a lot of what you like to do, you like what you do. And you like who you are and you like what you become. Then I get thrown into things I don't want to do. And all of a sudden I'm angry again and I'm frustrated and like, why am I doing this? I shouldn't have to do this. And it's not about I'm great or all. It's just I tend to like certain things more. And I think start with your strengths and then work to what you need to work on.
Another idea you say is to gather new data about yourself. What kind of new data are we looking for?
Well, most of us don't have a lot of self-awareness. Most of us don't even like feedback, so we don't ever get any. There are some awesome websites right now where you can get on and fill out some profiles, like the Myers-Briggs test. You may have heard of that, where it identifies if you're an introvert or an extrovert, or it identifies how empathic you are or not. There's other ones called Strengths Finder. And all of these are just tools that you go on, you fill out these assessments. There's one from Utah, a man named Hartman, that wrote the color code. And you can identify if you're a red and a blue. Now, they're not ideal, but it gives you some data. And another place to gather data is ask people around you, what do you think my top 3 strengths are? And then once, just get the 3 strengths, what do you think my top 3 strengths are? And start there. There's so many people that are in the wrong job doing the wrong thing because they never found out what they're really good at.
Don't you have to ask the right people, though? Because sometimes you ask people you don't respect or you don't respect their opinion, so to speak, and it doesn't matter.
Or they have the history, like we talked about last week, that they keep taking us back to where we were. Last but not least is to celebrate your greatness daily. There's good stuff you're doing every single day, and if you can go figure out every day, 3 times a day where you felt peace and in tune, or they call it flow, where you were in optimal life, identify what those 3 times are, and that spirit of flow is telling you where you should be. It's also telling you who you really are. If you feel more peace holding your baby, then that's something that you should do more of. If you feel more peace reading a book or a scripture or going on a run, wherever you find the true peace, that's your inside telling you where you should be spending your time.
Accentuate the positive and you'll be there. In fact,
Yes.
you're taking your little positive road show on the road here.
Yes, so we're taking the carnival up north to Bountiful. Did you see my little hand movement there? We're going to the South David Rec Center. And sorry, David's a good guy though, and David will be there. But it's the South Davis
it's the rec center they got up there.
Recreation Center in Bountiful. This is for everybody. This is for anybody with a relationship issue, and you got to show up. Go to matttownsend.com to register, and we'll be rocking your world this Friday night, I believe. Thursday night.
Couples can come.
Couples can come, or you can come alone. Doesn't matter. If you know anyone in a relationship and you want to improve it, you show up.
Davis County, it's your chance to get a piece of Matt Townsend. We'll post that information on our website. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, guys.
We'll be back.